everyone, welcome to Nina Cucina. Today I am making one of my favorite comfort dishes, my whole poached chicken with tarragon mustard sauce. It's light in calories and hearty in flavor. It has 131 calories, 17 grams of protein, and 32% of the recommended daily allowance for niacin. Now, the first thing that we're going to put together is the poaching liquid, and it's made with lots of delicious ingredients. I'm going to just get started by chopping my vegetables. You're just going to take off that little nose and just give it a slice because everything has flavor. Toss that right here into my pot. Now let's give these carrots a slice. Into the pot it goes. Now I like putting my peppercorns and my bay leaf into a little spice bag like this. I just think it makes it a whole lot easier. Then you don't have peppercorns all over your poached chicken that you're picking off. Wrap the string around my finger a little bit like this so I can make a really good knot so that sucker doesn't open up. There we go. Perfect little package. Into the pot it goes. That whole bottle of wine. And there is our cream sherry and water. Completely cover your chicken. Now lastly, I'm going to put sea salt, a couple teaspoons in there. So now we're going to go ahead and just put it on the stove and get it bubbling. Now that I have my pot bubbling away on the stove, I'm letting all of those flavors marry together in that stock pot. I'm going to show you how I trust this chicken. Not only am I going to show you how I trust this chicken, but I like putting together a little pulley system to get my chicken in and out of the pot. Got some trusty kitchen string here. Kitchen twine is the easiest thing in the world to use. You're just going to wrap it around your hand to your elbow twice. And that usually gives me enough string to truss a pretty average sized chicken. 5 pounds is a pretty good sized bird. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half so I can find the midpoint. Just like that. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to go ahead and tuck my wings in to keep them nice and neat. Now I'm going to start by working on the legs. I'm going to take that midpoint and I'm going to just loop it around the leg here, and I'm going to tie a nice simple knot so I have good control over that one leg. And then I'm going to wrap the other leg with the right, it'll be on your right, that piece of string, and just pull those legs together. Give that a little tie, just like that. Now I'm going to turn this up so you can see. I'm going to just wrap the string around what we call, very lovingly, the Pope's nose, which is the tail end of the bird. Just pull it together just a little bit more. I'm going to give that one simple tie. Then I'm going to bring my 2 pieces of string here around the side of the bird, around those little wings, and I'm going to just tie it on the top. And just give it a little tie. Now you can also, you're going to see that you have the neck piece here. Go ahead and just wrap it around the neck piece, and that'll give you a feeling, more of a feeling of security. And just, you can even do a pretty little bow if you want for yourself. There you go. Okay, now let's talk about my pulley system. This is the best method I have found to get this bird in and out of the pot. And not only that, it kind of creates a little extra trussing action, which is always good. Because when you poach a bird, one of the downfalls is it does tend to fall apart. 1, 2, 3 times this time around your hand and elbow. Give it a little snip. Now we're going to do basically the same type of thing. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find the midpoint of this string, just like that. And I'm going to tie the two ends together with just a simple knot. And then you're going to have this nice big loop. I don't know if you remember, as a kid, we used to always play these, string games. Now you have a nice big loop. Now, I'm going to find the midpoint again, and we're going to tie yet another knot in the center. So now you have two loops, one on each side, just like that. Now what you're going to do, I'm going to move my little chickie to the side here, is you're going to lay the string down on your work surface, and you're going to create an X with the knot sort of in the middle. And believe me, there is a method to my madness here. You're going to lay your chicken right on top of your X, and you're going to loop these two loops of string around your bird. Now I like trying to get them around the thighs, and additionally the front loop around my little wings that are tucked in. They're already secured with the trussing, but this will give you, believe me, an extra helping hand, especially getting it into the pot. Okay, so I'm going to just tie these two together. You can move the string around to get them exactly where you want them. You're tying right over the center of the breast. Nice tight knot. Now, look what you have here. You have two little handles, and you can just lift that bird perfectly easily. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the pot. Now let's just check the poaching liquid. It is bubbling like crazy, and the aroma, the savoriness is just fabulous. I'm going to give it a quick stir just so I can take a look at all of those wonderful colors. Now, let's put our chicken in. Now, you're going to see how easy this is. We've got our two loops, just lift it on up, and we just lower that bird right into the poaching liquid. No splatter, no burns, no mess. I'm going to take these two loops, and I'm just going to loop them around my handles, just like that. And I'm going to add to the pot my innards and the neck, just for that extra flavor. Now we're going to cover the pot, and it's going to poach for about 20 minutes a pound. So that's going to be about an hour and a half. Now my chicken should be ready by now. So let's just take a peek. It is steaming hot in there, bubbling away, and it's been in for about 90 minutes. So I'm just going to lift it right out of this pot onto my pretty blue plate. Give it a little tug here, slowly, slowly, because it's hot. Now I've got a nice big fish spatula just to give me a little hand. Now let's just move him carefully over to the pan. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tent this and set it aside. Now let's get started with our sauce, which is super easy. I'm going to scoop about 2 cups of this delicious broth into a measuring cup. Into the pot it goes. I'm just going to add about a 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. Now I'm just going to give that a quick little stir here, get all of my mustard mixed in, and I'm going to just let that bubble and reduce by half. Let's get started chopping some tarragon. When you're chopping herbs, hold one corner of the little top corner of your knife in one place and just move back and forth. Chop, 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 and then you can just move your herbs in to a small pile again and just start that process again, moving the knife back and forth. The key to slicing or to chopping, any real knife skill, is just to keep the blade moving and keep your blades really sharp. Here I have about a tablespoon of capers that I've just scooped out of the jar with a fork. You don't have to measure it, just 2 or 3 forkfuls. I'm just going to toss the capers right into the pot. I'm going to put that delicious tarragon right into the pot as well. I'm going to give this just about 5 minutes to marry together the flavors, and we'll be ready to serve. I'm going to show you how I slice up this chicken. Now, we've had it covered, so when you unwrap, be careful. You can see that that's still steaming hot. I'm going to just cut through my string and pull it out. Don't want any string for my guests. I'm going to show you how I do this. Now, you're going to see that it really does fall apart. I'm just going to carefully move the thigh away. It just comes out on its own. It's great. There you have it, a nice, healthy, hearty meal that's low in calories and high in antioxidants.